Alright, here we see my assistant. He's painting the windshield lip with the window welds primer. We're preparing to put the windshield in this as well as all the cars we have in the shop. We're all going to get windshields today. Okay, and you can see how he does it. We're going to be doing this on all 4 cars. Okay? Alright. You'll notice I put the butyl tape on this windshield for the Willys. I tend to join it at the bottom. There's a very good reason for that. We don't want to join it at the top. This is ready to install. Now, you'll notice that I don't wear rings or watches on my hand. There's a good reason for this. I've been doing windshields and windows for a long time. Rings and watches can cause damage to the glass when you're installing it. Alright, now give me a second. I'm going to have my assistant hold the camera while I put the glass in. We're having a little technical difficulties here. Alright? Anyway, we only get to do this once, so I want to make sure that my assistant has the camera rolling while I do this. Okay? Here's the windshield. I've already put the fuel tape on here. I'm going to do is basically just put it in the position like this. Totally. I had to take it off for tests because I didn't get this right. I don't want to do this too many times. Okay? Alright, you didn't shut it off. I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say it. My first attempt in putting the windshield into the Willys was a minor screw up. Okay? Basically what started to happen is the rubber started to peel off as I was putting it in. Okay? So what I've done is I've gone and super glued it. Let's get a nice close-up of it. In various strategic areas, super glued the rubber into place. Now, of course this means the rubber's not coming off. Alright? That's a good thing. Okay. When my customer goes to paint this, okay, I'm going to make a suggestion. There is a foam tape that 3M uses on new cars to spread the rubber away from the body so that you can get paint under it. It's very cheap, it's very inexpensive, it's very easy to use, and most paint shops know about it. Okay? It simply slides underneath the rubber, it holds it away from the body, and then you can tape around it and paint underneath the rubber. It's very important on this car that he knows how that has to be done. But it doesn't have to be foam, it can actually be a cord. But now that I've super glued this on here, it ain't coming off, let me tell you. So let me get it ready to go on again. Thank you. just so you know, that the way I was trying to install this windshield was with fuel tape. Okay? Now there are two methods of putting the windshield in. Okay, with a piece of flat glass like this, or they can be glued in. One is with butyl tape. You know what the butyl tape looks like? That's your butyl tape right there. Now the other thing, the other way to do it is with urethane. Okay, there's an example of urethane. Urethane is ungodly messy. Okay? I can't even begin to describe how messy it can be. What I've had to do on this particular windshield is, even though we tried to do it, with the butyl tape accurately, okay, I've had to go in here and add urethane to it to make sure that it stays in place. Now once the urethane cures, okay, this thing is not going to be popping out or any of those nightmare stories that you hear about this and other cars. Okay? It's really going to be very hard to take this windshield out. It's not coming out in one piece either. But this windshield will be in, and it will stay in as long as this car is around. Now, what we have to do is we have to clean this up. We clean it up with the razor blade to get the big pieces off, and then we'll go in there later on and we'll clean it up with acetone, and we're going to wipe it down and finally with some steel wool, and that will make this thing almost perfect. Right now we're just going to clean up a little bit, and then we're going to let it sit for a while until our urethane cures. It's going to take a couple of hours to cure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that for about 6 to 8 hours. Actually, we'll leave it overnight. Then we'll come in the morning, we'll take it off, and we'll clean it up and maybe put a little bit of urethane back on it. Okay? Like I said, this wasn't my idea of how I wanted to do it. However, this is a perfectly acceptable way of installing the windshield. We're using the urethane with the butyl tape. It will be just as good. It will be perfectly sealed. And when I'm done, I'm going to show it to you done, and you're not going to believe this is the way it's supposed that it was installed. Because it's going to be good. Let me take a break. Alright. As you can see, the wind is in. It actually looks pretty good. It does need a little bit more work. We're going to clean it up a little bit tomorrow, and we're going to have a couple of areas I want to seal better. But I'm happy with the way it's tended. Okay? And it looks. And I think our customer's going to be happy with it. It's fairly flush, which is what I wanted to get it that aerodynamic look, and it looks fairly good. Now we got to go in here. We got to seal around there with some urethane. We're going to make everything nice and neat. We're going to trim it and get it ready for putting in the dash and the headliner. That's what we're going to do with this car tomorrow. But I'm happy with this. Okay? We could, a little bit more work maybe. Okay? Urethane is always hard to work with. It's very messy. Okay? If you're not used to it, I don't recommend you do it. Okay? Get somebody that knows how to deal with urethane. Or learn to deal with it. Okay?